But have you heard anything about these new Star Wars projects that were announced?
No, I gave up on
So
Star Wars.
recently they had a Star Wars celebration. It wasn't May 4th actually, which is surprising, which I thought it usually takes place around May 4th.
Yeah.
But they had one over in the UK and they announced, I'm just going to talk about the movies they announced because they announced three new movies and it's a pretty big deal. Oh, actually we're going to talk about a show too a little bit, but um these movies that were announced are pretty interesting because we've heard rumors that Taika Waititi's making a project. We heard that Ryan Johnson is supposed to get his own trilogy, the guy who did the Knives Out movies, but all of those seem to be put on ice and there's no follow up to what's going on with those movies. So
Hmm.
these are completely new announced movies, and everyone on film in the film Twitter world is like, if you are a director and you get a Star Wars movie announced, you're probably not going to be able to make that movie eventually because you're just going to go through hell and it's going to get
Yeah.
stuck because that's what's been happening since what is it
The Lord.
yeah, with the Solo movie, like
Yeah. Well,
everyone,
even with
so many,
Rogue One, even with
yeah,
uh what was it, Gareth Edwards or whatever?
yeah, they hired a different director like halfway
Yeah.
through. So they struggle to hold creators to what they want because of, I think it's backlash from the studio. I
Yeah.
think whoever's in charge, I think it's Kathleen Kennedy or whatever, and all of them, they never agree on what they're gonna do with the movies. Even like the main trilogy of Star Wars that just came out, the way they did it was so wrong. They kind of just like
Yeah.
batoned it, where it's like a relay race. We're like, all right, I'm done with my part, do your part, and they're like, what are we
Yeah.
doing? Just go with it, and then hand it off to the next person. And then J.J. Abrams had to clean everything up in a one movie, and it was all over the place. So Star Wars does not have a good track record right now of their most recent movies, it seems like. But these next ones, we'll see what happens. This first project, I don't know if these are the official titles, but this first one is called Star Wars Dawn of the Jedi, and it takes place 25,000 years before the original trilogy. And it's about the first ever um, Jedi's, and it's supposed to be like I'll find out in a second. It's by James Mangold. James Mangold is attached to this, which is a curious choice. I didn't know he was gonna like. It's weird when they announce directors like this because he did Logan. He's doing the Indiana Jones, so he's got to have some sort of relationship with Disney at this point because he did the last Indiana
Dial of
Jones.
Destiny.
Yeah, the Dial of Destiny. So he's comparing it to like a religious type of, I forgot what is it, which one it was called. Which one is the Ten Commandments? That's like an old
Yeah.
classic movie.
Yeah. Is
He's
that what he's
comparing it.
comparing it
He's
to?
comparing it to that, of having it being like biblical proportions, epic,
Oh
of
God.
discovering the Jedi ways and
Interesting.
the Force, discovering the Force, the first Jedi to do it. So there's that. There's one project right there.
That's okay.
But yeah, James Mangold is attached to this. So there's some positivity to that, but again, it's Star Wars, and we'll see if he actually sticks around for it. We don't know if
Yeah.
um, he's going to stick around for it, and we don't know if he took the project from Taika Waititi or if he's like, we don't know if he was the original choice or if it was or anything like that. But
Or if they're just once again doing the Patan thing.
yeah, like a director for hire. He's like, he's on the payroll, Disney. Let's just give it to him. He
Yeah.
seems like capable. But yeah, Dawn of the Jedi, it's called. So that's the first one. We'll see. I don't know. There's a bunch of books, I guess, obviously for the expanded
I
universe of
was gonna
Star
say that
Wars. But
sounds like a fan fiction
yeah,
thing.
it's maybe it's based off a book. I haven't seen if it was or not. But there's that. This next one is pretty big. This one's called Star Wars New Jedi Order. Supposedly, it might change when they release the movie, but this one is set 15 years after the rise of Skywalker. And the big thing about this is that Daisy Ridley is returning as Rey.
Mm.
It's gonna follow her as a Jedi Master, rebuilding the Jedi Order after the events of the sequel trilogy. And good for her, good for Daisy.
Yeah.
Did we like her in it? Did we like
I
her in
liked
those
her in
movies?
the first one. I even liked her in the second one. I
Yeah,
mean,
she did
like,
nothing wrong, I guess. I mean,
she did nothing wrong. Her character
a
sucks. Her character ended up sucking. But I
lot
mean,
of the
like,
characters ended up sucking except for the
yeah.
legacy characters.
So I
Because
mean, like,
yeah,
yeah. I don't know if that's. I mean, like, they're probably gonna do what they did with the Obi-Wan series, where it's just a bunch of retconning and fan
fix it all,
service.
fix it
Yeah.
all.
And so I mean, like, who knows? I mean, like, I'm just gonna wait. I'm just gonna wait until you say the third one, then I'll give my opinion on all this
Yeah,
entire
it's
Star Wars
I
thing.
mean, I the way that Daisy Ridley talked about the experience, it seemed like she was like, I can't say anything bad, but I'm not going to say anything good either. Same with John Boyega. They just were
Yeah,
like,
I
well,
can't
John
imagine.
Boyega's out. He's like, I'm
Yeah.
done with Star Wars, but
Oh yeah, no,
I
he's
guess
been
Daisy
very
Ridley never
vocal.
said that. So,
Well, I mean, like, I can't imagine for them, especially because it's like that first, The Force Awakens was such a great,
oh yeah,
like, just the movie and like like if you watch like the documentary when they're making it and everything, it's like, oh my God, it was like such a magical experience, like the whole marketing of it, them
yeah,
promoting it. It's like a dream come true, just all this nice stuff. It's like and for all of us too, and we saw that movie, it's like, oh my God, this is what we wanted.
yeah.
And then I can't imagine after that, man. Because after that, I mean, like, I feel like we're all in the same boat where
A
it's just
real
like,
fall from grace. Yeah.
yeah, it's like, so what's happening now? Oh, you guys have no idea what you're doing. So like for them being fans and also being actors, and then for us just being fans and just being watchers, we're all just disappointed. We're all just
hmm
like, okay, so this is how it's gonna be. And I
Yeah,
can't imagine how it was for them to make it, because
yeah,
it's like I can't, like, it's probably just the entire time there's like, oh, so like this is my dream now, just like crashing just right before my eyes.
exactly.
And instead of everybody like loving us, now everybody's hating on us because of stupid ass shit.
So yeah, there's that. 15 years after Rise of Skywalker, we're getting a sequel, and everyone's upset. Not everyone, but there's people who are upset by them not calling it Episode 10. But I'm just
Jesus
like,
Christ.
I mean, I want to defend it in a way, kind of saying, well, that's the Skywalker story.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: Rey is not actually a Skywalker, but
Yeah,
she's calling
she's a
herself a Skywalker.
Palpatine,
She's a Palpatine. Spoiler. But yeah,
which is so dumb.
which is weird.
It's
So
not weird, Elijah. It's dumb. Let's call it as it is.
they had to make it a legacy somehow, I guess. I was
It's
on the
because
train.
all of us called it out, and that's probably what they wanted to do, but all of us called it out, and so they were
Yeah,
just like,
Ryan
you know
Johnson
what?
kind of put a fork in her, like he kind of messed everything up because he didn't want to go the direction that they were
Yeah.
alluding to. He was like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do nothing, but I'm gonna do a lot. Ryan Johnson
Right.
said,
Yeah.
and it's so slow, but it's not a bad movie. I'm one of those people who are like, I did like The Last Jedi, but
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I need
So
to
Ray's coming
rewatch it.
back. Ray's coming back. We'll see what it means.
We'll
And
see. We'll see. We'll
but
see.
oh yeah, I was one of those people who thought that she was gonna be a Kenobi, but I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, no, I thought that it would have been better if she was just a solo, but
Oh yeah, I remember those. I remember that. So there's those two projects. No one's attached to the Dawn of the Jedi right now, except for James Mangold. This next one might have you a little upset because it is one of those situations where you're like, you don't want to watch all the shows and stuff to catch up on this, but this is one that's going to be, it's a Mandalorian movie, and it's directed by the guy Dave Filoni, who's doing like all the TV shows, and he's like the main head of like Star Wars right now for like continuity and story and everything. He's like the new George Lucas. He
Mm-hmm.
he did what's the animated Attack of the Clones and all those shows, the ones that
Mm-hmm.
lasted a long
The
time,
Clone
the
Wars.
Clone Wars and the animated ones. He was in
Mm-hmm.
charge of that. That's how he started with those storytelling, and then he got upgraded with John Favreau to doing the live action TV shows together. And so he's directing this one, the Mandalorian movie, which might be a little upsetting because the Mandalorian has the Mandalorian. It's got a new show called Ahsoka or whatever with Rosario Dawson. It's got the Book of Boba Fett, and all these shows are gradually getting worse. I don't know about a show Ahsoka or whatever, but The
Uh-huh.
Mandalorian is getting really bad. The first season is a very good season of show, but the new seasons have just gone downhill, and it seems like they
Yeah.
don't know what they're doing.
That's how
And
it
the
usually goes.
yeah, and the fact that they're making a movie about it now has me a little worried, like you said, of like we have to watch all that other stuff to really understand what's going on, including
Yeah,
the Clone Wars TV show, the animated TV
yeah,
shows and stuff, because they're bringing a lot of those animated characters into live action with these TV shows, and I'm just like, who is this supposed to be? Like, I'm like, it's one of
who's
those
this
things.
for?
Yeah, it's one. Yeah, it's not for casual fans anymore,
No.
and the way they shoot a lot of the stuff is like they hold for these characters for applauses. It seems like, and I'm just like,
Yeah,
I don't know, but
it's weird. It's like honestly
like,
like
have you
with
seen The Mandalorian? Have you seen any Disney Plus or
no, I have not
Star
watched
Wars show?
any. I want to watch The Mandalorian, but I mean like I just really like lost my Star Wars
Yeah,
fix
you have
after.
fatigue.
Well, yeah, after the entire thing with Solo was going on, and then the Rise of Skywalker, that's when I was just like, and then Disney Plus was coming out, and like they were like talking about all these shows that they were doing, and
Hmm.
after that, I was just like, dude, just stop. You guys are like really like
Yeah,
they're killing a franchise that used to be so important to me. Like
yeah.
I love Star Wars so
Oh
much,
yeah, they had
and
an
like
Obi-Wan Kenobi show too, and I was very excited
yeah,
for that. And that one
and I
was
was
really
excited for that too. And I
just
just
really
watched the
flat.
trailer. Yeah, I watched the trailer, and it's like if it was just a movie,
Hmm.
even then it's like okay, we don't really need this. But if it was just a movie, you brought Ewan McGregor back, you brought Joel Edgerton back,
Yeah,
cool. Like we're just seeing from Kenobi's perspective and trying to protect Luke Skywalker. That's an interesting movie.
yeah,
But then it's like you're making it into a TV show, and it's like why?
yeah.
And they just keep doing that shit, and like it's worse with
It's the age of
the Star
streaming.
Wars and with Marvel though, because it's like these are all every single minute of it is like it's all connected with each other. So if you don't know like an episode 5 of WandaVision, then you're gonna be confused of watching Doctor Strange and the madness of multiverse, whatever the hell. And I was
And the
because it's
madness
just
of Marvel. I don't know what they're doing.
yeah, and the madness of nobody knows what the hell is going on.
Yeah,
It's just a very odd way of trying to I don't know. I think it's a very odd way of just making movies and making just like content in general of just especially in this scale
yeah.